Hello, everyone. Raise your hands if you have ever felt like no matter how much you achieve, it's never enough. Like success is always one step ahead. And even when you get there, you wonder, did I really earn this? I see those hands. I've been there too. For as long as I can remember, I've carried this invisible backpack filled with expectations from teachers, parents, friends, and the heaviest of all, my own. Today, I'll talk about what happens when that backpack becomes too heavy to carry and how I learned to unpack it. Growing up, I was the golden child. Top grades, obedient, the kind of kid parents point to and say, be more like her. But behind the report cards, there was a secret. I didn't love studying. I loved winning. The validation, the praise, the proof that I was enough. Then came COVID. And overnight, my structured world vanished. No school bells, no structure, just silence. And in that silence, my mind, it became a crowded room. I started questioning everything. Why do I care about grades? What if I'm not as smart as people think I am? Tennis was my escape. I dreamed of going pro until overthinking joined the club. I would freeze before serving, overthink my stance, my grip, the wind, everything. My coaches would say, just play. How could I? When my mind screamed, what if you fail? The irony? I was actually decent enough, but comparison stole my joy. I wasn't 5'10" like the champions. I didn't eat, sleep, and breathe tennis like my peers. So I quit, convinced I wasn't cut out for it. Here's what I know now. It wasn't tennis I needed to quit. It was the belief that my self-worth depended on being the best. Medical school was my childhood dream. I started out with cute little doctor sets as birthday presents and graduated early at age 8 to staring at embryo specimens in my mom's medical college. I was scared. Trust me, I was. But then I thought, wait, this is kind of cool. Sign me up. Clearly, my parents should have been more concerned. NEET prep. A nightmare. Kids would memorize textbooks in weeks. Our teachers warned us, if you don't sacrifice now, you'll regret it forever. I tried. Endless mock tests, sleepless nights, guilt over every single break. Results came out. I got into a good college. Instead of pride, I felt shame. You lucked out, my inner critic whispered. And that's when the triad of self-doubt began. Thinking I'm not good enough, followed by overcompensation to prove that I am, and then thinking it was all just a fluke when I achieved my goals. This triad ruled my life until anatomy lab first year. My hands shook as I dissected a cadaver's heart. My professor stood by me and said, mistakes are how you learn. And even the best surgeons were once students who nicked an artery. And maybe that's when it hit me. Medicine, like life, isn't about perfection. It's about showing up again and again, despite the fear, despite the failure, and despite the doubt. And just when I thought the pressure was only about my performance, I realized something else. Finding good friends in MBBS, it's like identifying a histoslide at first glance. Rarely it happens, but when it does, you know the feeling. Recently, there is this trend of gatekeeping information and study material just to get a better score and maybe a better rank. Isn't it a very short sighted way of going about this degree? We are learning to heal actual human beings. This might be a race, but we can't win it by sabotaging others. So, just like in High School Musical, we are all in this together. We are taught that doctors are gods. But what if we are actually gardeners? Gardeners don't scream at seeds for growing slowly. They water them, they nurture them, and they celebrate the small blooms. I've learned to treat myself the same way. Exam in 3 days, and I haven't done CVS yet. But at least I did 3 topics in CNS and helped a classmate understand a topic. Progress is not linear, and your self-worth is not a rank. To every student here, drowning in expectations, you don't have to earn your right to exist. You're already enough. Not because of what you achieve, but because you are you. Recently, I took my first patient history, and I was so nervous about forgetting surgical history, past history, allergic history, and whatnot that I made a mistake. I forgot that the patient is a person who is in pain and deserves for someone to listen to their story, not just mechanically note down the symptoms and give out a diagnosis. Being a doctor is about being present, being human, and being a listener. In my clinical posting in OBGYN, Dr. Desai taught us using expensive procedures and fancy interventions when simple lifestyle modifications and interventions could have saved the patient's life doesn't make you a good doctor. It makes you a good businessman. Because empathy in medicine isn't about impressing others. It's about understanding what this patient right here, right now, needs the most. So, to my fellow future doctors, we will hold lives in our hands someday. But first, we must learn to hold ourselves with kindness and with grace. The world doesn't need perfect healers, it needs compassionate ones, starting with compassion for ourselves. So, take a deep breath, unpack that heavy backpack, and remember, you belong here. Thank you.